Hello, my name is Brittany Barna, and today I'm going to talk to you about something plaguing American households. It isn't a virus or a disease. It's consumer debt. According to the Federal Reserve, as of this year, consumer debt is over $14 trillion, which has consistent growth in four main areas: auto, credit card, home, and student loan. In the words of America's trusted voice on money and New York Times best-selling author Dave Ramsey, debt is dumb. This is because your greatest wealth-building asset is your income. And if your income is going to monthly payments on student loans and cars and homes and credit cards, then you've completely depleted that resource. Contrary to popular belief, credit and debt are the same thing. In order to have credit, you have to borrow money, which means getting into debt, pay that debt back over time, usually with interest, and all of this so that you can be trusted with more debt. But did you know that not long ago, debt was not a way of life? Yep. According to Dave Ramsey's Complete Guide to Money, debt is still relatively new in terms of American history. Our great-grandparents lived without debt, and they actually believed that debt was downright wrong. Great businesses of their time, like Sears, J.C. Penney's, and Ford, didn't believe in or allow credit or financing. So why is debt so popular now? Well, because debt is one of the most aggressively marketed products in history. Most consumers actually believe that it is impossible to live without a car payment. But what if I told you that Americans currently owe $1 trillion in auto loans, or that new cars lose 70% of their value in the first 4 years? If that's not convincing enough, consider that according to Dave Ramsey, the average millionaire buys a slightly used car for cash. And he insists they don't buy cars with cash because they're millionaires. They're millionaires because they buy with cash. Carnegie Mellon actually did a study to see how people are affected when making large purchases. It showed a huge difference between spending with cash and credit. Spending cash is actually painful. It affects us in a painful way. The pain receptors in our brain go off, and that means we spend less money. And that means that we have less financial hardship later on. Then there's credit cards. Most consumers actually believe that you cannot make certain purchases without having a credit card. Well, the truth is that any kind of purchase you can make with a credit card can be made with a debit card, except the one that you can't really afford. Credit card debt is over $1 trillion as of February of this year. According to debt.org, nearly 200 million Americans have credit card debt, with the average household having over $8,000 worth. But I need a credit card to build credit and buy a home. Well, that's not true. Remember that credit has not always been a way of life, which means there is a way to have a mortgage without a credit score. It's called manual underwriting. Look it up. It has nothing to do with your debt payback history number, aka credit score. And that brings me to mortgage debt, which totals $9 trillion. Now, this debt is one that Dave Ramsey and other financial experts agree is pretty necessary. But that doesn't mean run out and get a mortgage. Be smart about it. Save for a good down payment. Get a 15-year fixed-rate mortgage. Be sure that you're financially prepared to pay your mortgage payment in addition to all your other bills and emergencies and home maintenance and repairs. And pay off your mortgage early if you can. Don't forget to get a manually underwritten mortgage and forget about that credit score. Finally, I'm going to talk about a great plague that college students are faced with today: student loan debt. This is another debt that tops $1 trillion, and this debt is absolutely not necessary. According to debt.org, $46 billion is awarded in grants and scholarships each year. Plus programs like work study, the option to rent or buy books rent books or buy books used, and attending state colleges, community colleges instead of private universities all save you money. And then there's having a good old-fashioned job. There are literally dozens of ways to attend college without taking out loans or going into debt. Many of these lessons are lessons that I myself had to learn the hard way. And if you've made mistakes and are in debt, you can get out and you can learn to live a debt-free lifestyle. Dave Ramsey has great resources, and there's tons of resources out there. If you're still living debt-free and haven't made the mistake of getting into debt or getting so-called credit, don't buy into the lies and the marketing of credit and debt. Debt is the product of a multi-trillion-dollar business, not a way of life. Do not buy it. Thank you.